Let me get this straight. You blew up a building.
2 CIs and the CEO of 22andU.
2 competing federal agencies with the same mission.
I don't understand why those Fed a-holes are so darn mean.
To protect the public from the scourge of dangerous misinformation.
You know those bum idiots. This is all them. We had a solid case.
The word entrapment, not even in their vocabulary.
The explosives we provided were fake.
Sworn to a duty to always tell the truth.
We have no indication at this time that this was a deliberate act.
We're all being transferred.
To where?
The only place currently with openings. Alaska.
Good morning.
Welcome to the office, huh?
And we got the retro feel. You know, the funny about federal buildings, they're all different, but they're still somehow all the same.
Oh, good morning, Agent Walker. At the coffee station. We actually drew straws before he got here, and I won, so we get to work together.
Let's get started. Let's see if we can't stir something up.
Let's give it a minute. I like to warm up my truth muscles, a little coffee beforehand.
Well, what do you want to do first?
What do we have for a surveillance van?
Oh, wow. I got a Ford Explorer. We don't have a surveillance van.
Do you put many cases here?
Cases?
Yeah, cases. We're the tip of the spear when it comes to protecting American democracy.
You really believe this? You really believe that people posting crap online is going to cause our country to crumble?
I think the work that we do is important.
We don't have a surveillance van.
Missing people got one. We've never needed one.
We need a surveillance van. We need a big case or a CI who can lead us to a big case.
What do you need the van for?
Surveillance.
CIs, or confidential informants, are the lifeblood of any good law enforcement agency. Public posts on social media are one of the best ways to find CIs. Agents would never use coercion or take things out of context to try and persuade someone to become a confidential informant.
The new Taylor Swift single is absolute fire. I'm just seeing a lot of incendiary and violent language here.
Agents always need to be on their toes and ready to make snap decisions.
Is there anything I can do for you guys? Actually, David, there is something you can do for us.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggies.
What?
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. McDonald's cheeseburger.
Burger King.
Burger King cheeseburger.
Flame broiled.
And chicken nuggets.
Oh, baby, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be your beaver pilot. Said, honey, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be.
Awesome, right?
Is this a loner?
This thing's totally legit.
What is this? It's got windows!
Hello. Oh, shit. Mute that. Hello. How it goes? Welcome to Monday. It is Monday. Crazy Monday. A crazy weekend in the world. Oh my good grief. What the hell? Yeah, it's everything is freaking ridiculous right now. So I am, where did it go? Watching a whole bunch of different things. Hello, how's everybody doing? I have my Smoke and Scan hoodie on. You have not seen Smoke and Scan? He is live right now. Smoke and Scan is live right now, following all the stupid shit going on in Los Angeles. And pop in and check him out just real quick. I don't want to share his thing, but there you go. There's the fucking silliness. There is the silliness happening right now. We can, I will show you this channel. This is the channel that he was just watching. It's called IRT Media. And, so I was trying to remember what this channel is. Hey, how are you? Hi. So this is a guy named Joe, Taco Joe, actually. He is he's been a streamer for a long time, and he had a channel where he followed Los Angeles and Bakersfield and like all these different things, and it was First Responders Media. First Responders Media. And I've got a hoodie somewhere for that. And he also went down to the border the last 4 years and interviewed people crossing the border. And I was trying to find the story. Let me see. And of course, First Responders Media. Yeah, exactly. He'd gone down to the border and he was interviewing people as they crossed the border. And he ended up interviewing this one guy who came across and says, well, do you know who I am? And they're like, no, we don't know who you are. And he's like, well, my name is blah, blah, blah. And you'll find out who I am. And it's like, whoa, what? And it turns out this guy was like wanted. He was like a wanted terrorist from, the Middle East, right? And so this video went viral. So what happens when you go to the border, interview a potential terrorist that's coming across the border? What do you think happens? It's completely removed from YouTube. Your channel is completely deleted. So you can't, all the subs and subscriptions and everybody he had following his channel before that is now gone. And yeah, you get blacklisted. It's you get your channel taken away because you potentially interviewed a potential terrorist that was crossing the border illegally. That's just the kind of shit that, So now we've got these people, it seems like everybody that's there is a member of the press. Because every time something happens, you get like 100 people running around with cameras. And then you get people back behind throwing rocks and bottles and shooting fireworks at the police line. And then you got all these people up front that's running around with cameras, calling themselves press. And it's just stupidity all around. I'm just it's such a weird spot to be in because I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I'm glad I live where I do. I'm sorry, you folks that live other places and you don't live where I live. It's much better to live where I live than to live where everybody else does. Especially if you live in Massachusetts. Oh my God, don't ever move to Massachusetts. The place is stupid. Aha, I'm learning not to be a cruncher in the ears. And then to unmute myself when I'm done. You know, all the things. So, all right, while we're kicking it here too. So last night was weird. Yeah, Moose Riot. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get a Moose Riot. I don't know if hang on. There was a cool story. Kick this off with some fun. How about that? Instead of all this stupidity. Well, yeah, there's stupidity right in front of us there, isn't there? All right, let's see if I can find it here. Might have to go to stupid Facebook. I don't like Facebook. Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, I don't know how much crazier this is going to get. I just don't. There's the thing is there's a few thousand people here. Maybe there's 10,000 people. How many? There's 10 million people that live in LA. Most people in Los Angeles are going about their weekend. They're going about their days. They're going to work. They're going to the store. They're just doing their normal thing. And then you get a few thousand people that, you know, got to just have everybody. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can find this. All right, so there was this moose. Oh, I want to. Hang on. There was a moose the other day that had a baby right outside of Providence Hospital. What the? Searching for things on these social media sites just sucks. All right, here we go. I'll share the screen instead. Yeah, no, I know. Everybody's walking around everybody's screaming at the. So here's the thing, too. You're screaming at the LAPD. Why? You're not. The LAPD has nothing to do with what you're mad about, which, I mean, some people are mad about different things, it seems. But, yeah, anyway. Okay, so, all right, let's share this instead. So this is a mama moose in labor right outside of the delivery ward at Providence Hospital. This was May 16th, so coming up on a month ago. But, so it's moose delivery time. She was out there all day long. Right? I see that.
Come on, Mama. You got this.
She was out there all day. Then here's baby.
Oh my God. Those little ears. Moms are amazing. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. Look at good mama. She's cleaning his ears.
Yeah, right outside the delivery area.
He's like, I don't know how to use my legs.
Then we get
It's a little girl.
That's what I mean, especially as Fury.
What is she? Oh. So cute. Okay, let me call mom. Hi, Kiki. Oh, there you go.
Yep.
It's a little girl.
That's what I mean, especially as Fury.
We get the first step. So yeah, so this happened right outside of the delivery ward at Providence Hospital. Kind of funny. Kind of funny when you have, you got people in there delivering babies, and then I don't know why there's music to this, but I'm going to turn the music off. This was the first few steps. Mom's like, I'm tired. I'm just going to lay here and you can wander around. You're cleaned off. You're good to go. No, it's very cool. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, it is Facebook, so there's probably not much bad out here, but gosh, you never know. This is a cool one here too.
It's a little girl.
That's what I mean, especially as Fury.
So anyway, that was kind of a neat little moose story thing the other day. All right, so another thing. A while ago, I don't remember how long ago. So I was watching YouTube, flipping through YouTube. You know how the algorithm's just weird. And I caught this channel from Las Vegas. And I think it's called Turn It Up World. And it's black lady and her husband, who's white, but not that matters, but it's kind of interesting. So, I'll just show you real quick. And they have they're based in Las Vegas, but they actually do travel around the place. They have different travel things. So Las Vegas, they had a video 2 weeks ago. They had a live. Oh wow, they haven't gone live in a while. I haven't seen them in a while. They haven't gone live since New Year's Eve. Interesting. But they've got videos 4 days ago, 11 days ago. So it looks like maybe they're just doing videos. And not doing the live streams. So anyway, I caught this channel, and of course the algorithm goes, oh, you like Vegas stuff, and started feeding me more Vegas stuff. Well, there was another channel that it fed me that was called Sin City Family, and Sin City Family spent a lot of time down on Fremont. And they were just a little more gritty, let's just say. And I always just thought they were kind of weird too. The main guy from Sin City Family is a guy named Manny. And I thought I had some stuff up, but maybe not. Oh, sounds like Mom might be home. So yeah, hang on, let me do another search here. Damn it. So, Sin City Manny, or I think that was Sin City Manny Wise. That was his name. He would like, and I'm gonna. Oh, I've still got you on the stream. Okay, so share this one. So he would like sometimes dress up in makeup and go down to Fremont Street. He was always very creative with his makeup, but it was still kind of weird, right? So he'd be walking around with like full face paint, and this was his wife. And here's like a video. So, yeah, anyway. So, I guess he started having a YouTube fight with somebody named Finny the Legend. And Finny the Legend, basically, so as this person says, Finny the Legend had 2 YouTube channels where him and his friends reacted and made fun of Sin City Manny, his content, and his wife's looks. One channel was designed as a troll channel targeting the guy. I'm not saying he deserved to get shot. That's important, but he should have left that man alone. So last night, Sin City Manny, Finny the Legend, and his wife had set up and were doing a live stream by the Bellagio when Sin City Manny walked up and put rounds into Finny the Legend, like 4 of them at least, or no, multiple. Yeah, it was more than that. So here's the story from Vegas. Up. Hang on. Share. Making sure I share.
This is breaking news.
This is crazy.
Sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel Casino.
Okay. Sidebar. Does everything need to be sponsored, guys? News stations, you do this all the time. Oh, there was this murder here. This is sponsored to you by South Point Pond. Oh, there was a tragic earthquake where 400 people were killed. And that's sponsored to you by Pfizer. Why do we have to sponsor every tragedy? And do you think Michael Gaughan's South Point wants to be the sponsor of your tragedy? I don't think so.
An arrest.
South Point Spa does not want to be the sponsor of your murder. Stop. I get it. You got to pay the bills, but we can do better.
Is made after a deadly shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. Police say a 41-year-old man was arrested in the killing of 2 people on a busy sidewalk on the Strip. The suspect manually.
In fact, he wasn't arrested. He turned himself in later.
Reportedly walked into a Henderson police station and turned himself
okay,
in.
There you go.
He was taken into custody and is expected to be booked into Clark County Detention Center on 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon, according to a release. Gunfire erupted near the Bellagio at around 10:40 p.m. Sunday night.
On the live stream.
Shots were caught on video in what police said was a feud that started on social media. Metro Under Sheriff Andrew Walsh calling the incident isolated. Again, an arrest has been made in a shooting that left 2 people dead on the Las Vegas Strip. Stay with LVRJ.com for the latest.
All right, that wasn't not a very good damn thing. So here is. All right, so this one is somebody that, this is somebody else that's filming. This is somebody walking down and filming on the Strip. So we've got some other people. I'm going to fast forward because it's got music on it and I want to get the thing. So doing this, and then all of a sudden, that was close. So you see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's at least 8 gunshots right there. Look at that guy that cut right in front of him, too. That's close. That is like close. It must have just happened behind him. Let's see. Can we see where? I mean, that seemed to be close. Where was? Because they're filming right there beside the thing. I mean, you know, it is a gunshot, so that report's going to travel quite a bit. That might have been them right there. This might have been his wife, which I'll kind of try and show you it in a minute. I mean, my channel's so small, it doesn't even matter. I'm not monetized, so All right, so let's see. All right, so this is kind of the beginning of it here. So this was the live stream. I thought I had the whole thing here. So this is Finney right here, Finney the Legend. He's live streaming on the strip. There's his wife right there, and then there's Manny, and then there you go. You see there is a right there. Right there. Bang. Bang, bang. And then that goes. So this is freaking crazy. This is crazy. And then the live stream kept rolling, right? So the live stream kept rolling, and let me see if I can find. I thought I had saved it too, but I guess not. So give me a second. I know it's on here. The whole live stream. Somebody had put up the whole live stream on X here. Mm-mm. Oh, maybe I gotta search the other thing here. Okay, yep, it's probably it. So yeah, so like all of a sudden this guy just walks up. Yeah, here we go. So this was the. You see, they finally showed up by the Bellagio. They're waiting on the. So then this is the aftermath. Now here is the final. The cops are this. So this thing keeps running. The live stream keeps going, right? You can hear the cops in the background. People are freaking out. It's finally and the live stream's still rolling. Right? You got cops showing up, you got ambulances showing up, you got everybody showing up. And the last thing, the very last thing you see, I need witnesses. They all took off. No, right, exactly. What's it? We'll get to that in a second. There is a little more to this. There is just a little more to this. Oh, hang on one second. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. So there's the cop. He flips over the camera.
If you know this person, call the phone.
And then that's the end of the stream. If you know the person, call the phone. So he realizes, oh, this thing is still rolling. This thing is still doing a live stream. Insane. So this was 5 days ago. This is a 5-hour and 18-minute live stream from Finney to Legend. And instead of Manny, Sin City Manny or Manny, whatever, he calls him Manny Panny Tragic. And then this is like a 5-hour.
All right. Y'all cuff 23.
Is a 5-hour just basically dogging Manny the entire time. Like he brings up pictures of his wife and then he gets other people to come in. Like here's
They take really good care of you, the food. I know.
Here's, him showing videos of him.
Wendy T, I don't know how to put your TikTok name out there.
Making fun of him.
3 weeks.
5 hours straight.
And puts you want to hit that button, everybody, the copyright.
So,
button.
and then I guess they were like going back and forth with copyright strikes on each other. And, here he's talking about his wife's bodies, and then, so then yesterday, this is Manny yesterday on a live stream that he did, and he's out driving around during the day looking for.
I'm out here searching for my baby. The fuck? I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in fucking town. I was dying to see him. I'm fucking dying to see him. What are we doing? Fuel bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll fucking be there. I'll fucking be there.
So, yeah, he basically did a unhinged. And I mean, like I said, this guy was kind of weird. I always got that vibe that, he's just kind of not right. And it proved me right. Trust your gut feeling. If you're like, hey, that person doesn't seem right, they might not be right. So, and then this is crazy that people let YouTube beef get, and on one hand, yes, it is just it's social media beef, but it's also a business. I mean, this is a business beef. This is what these people do. Good or bad, this is what these people do to make money. This is what these people do. I don't. I think it'd be cool if you could, but I'm not there yet. Not even close. Not even monetized. But this is people's livelihoods, right? And so if they're digging into each other's livelihoods and causing issues with, money, it can get crazy. People take that stuff seriously. Obviously, Manny took it a little too serious. And now 2 people are completely ruined. So did it need to go that far? Oh, hell no. But it's just nuts. It's just nuts that's, and it's caught live right on. Just crazy that's actually caught live. I mean, just crazy. Crazy that they were right there by the scene. All right. Okay. So, all right. So I have a theory. I just came to this today. Probably should have come to it many times, before. But Judge Bev is not only is she not a good judge, she is not intelligent at all. She's probably on the very lower scale of intelligence. Like, she was able to go to law school, she was able to pass the bar or whatever. So she's got some sense of, maybe being able to study things and take a test. But like actual intelligence and actual things, she is just dumb. That's all there is to it. That's the only way I can explain what the hell we're seeing. Because today was just another just absolutely preposterous, freaking ridiculous day. It's just, oh my God. All right. So unfortunately, Andrea does not have she didn't go through today. Oh, she did. Okay. So at least she went through and caught her. Okay. Woohoo. She does not have a transcript, but before, just now, she didn't even have like the little clip, everything broken down on here, I'll show you. Like these things, so you can skip to different parts. So we'll just do this. We'll see if she eventually gets a thing, and then I've got Emily queued up too right there. So what happened today? We have Dr. Wolf back on the stand. And so we're going to go, we have Dr. La Posada is an award-winning forensic pathologist that they're trying to limit her testimony in. And of course, eventually yeah. So basically, the argument was, well, she's not an expert in dog bites, even though she studied it. She studied pattern recognition her entire life. She's done the whole thing. But there was something that came up in the arguments that she only had like 5 autopsies that dealt with dogs. It turned out it was a lot more than that when we get later on. But yeah, she is just dumb. She is horrible. And when we get to this, it's just going to be, you're just going to be blown away. If you didn't see what happened today, you're just going to be blown away. So we're getting back into the crash dummy a little bit with AJ. Then, so they talk about the shirt. They talk about the sweatshirt. It's going to be important later. So let's listen to this for a minute, and then I'll be right
John.
Do you recognize
I
what's
found
depicted in
nothing
that
on
photograph?
John at the scene.
Yes.
What is it?
It is the front side of the test dummy from the 29 mile per hour full-on impact test.
Does that appear to be a true and accurate depiction of the condition of Rescue Randy in that sweatshirt after that 29 mile an hour impact?
Yes.
Move for the admission of that photograph, Your Honor, is next in order.
Okay. Is it 220? Yes.
This is mainly showing the upper body of the test dummy from the 29 mile an hour impact test, showing the road rash to the front side of the body.
Were you shown this photograph on cross-examination?
No.
What caused the holes in the bodice of the shirt? In other words, the part that covers the chest and the torso?
After the impact, the dummy was projected and sliding on the pavement surface. So again, this is consistent with the front side of the body sliding, making sliding contact with the pavement, creating those abrasions and holes.
You were asked on cross-examination several times about the weight of the Hybrid 3 arm. Do you recall that series of questions?
Yes.
You were asked how much lighter the Hybrid 3 arm was than the static estimate arm, correct?
Correct.
I want to make sure we're clear about this. The Hybrid 3 arm is the physical arm that you attached to the ATD and did testing with, correct?
Correct.
The statistical estimate arm is something in the ether, right? It doesn't exist?
Sustained.
How would you describe a statistical estimate arm?
It's probably from taking a sample of the population and getting an average and a high and a low.
Okay.
So
one study. Do you agree with that?
it sounds about right, but again, I don't have the percentage off the
So
top
if
of
you
my head.
take 5.48% of a 171-pound man, which is the crash test dummy you were using, the 50 percentile, what do you get?
You said 5.48%?
Yeah.
Just over 9 pounds.
Okay. Close to 9.38?
9.37.
Okay. Now when you have 200...
Calculation, so I
didn't ask you. I'm asking if you would agree with that.
Can you repeat the question?
Sir, when you are assessing cuts and holes on clothing, you need to make sure the predicate as a basis that you're using the right properties, right?
With that, yes.
Look even more biased than she is, and he's not winning. You can't win with physics and science. He's trying to obfuscate the truth. He's trying to throw spaghetti at the wall, and he's muddying the waters with things that have no relevance here. But he's allowed to drone on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Could we have...
In this possible.
Well, according to this, it's probable, yes?
In this test that did occur, yes.
Oops.
Do you know what this is, doctor? Did you see this?
That specific photograph.
Do you know? This is taillight shards found in Mr. O'Keefe's clothing. Did you consider this photograph during your analysis before you gave your opinions regarding cuts and tears and Lacerations?
No. Sir.
I believe it was called apparent plastic. And I don't know that it was ever proven that it matches the taillight. So once again, Hank Brennan is just putting facts out there as evidence in his questions. And there's no ramifications for his behavior. So he's like a petulant child who just keeps
To the
May I approach and retrieve the exhibit, Your Honor?
Yes.
Oh, here come the museum glass encased clothing. Do we get to take it out of the
Did you ever look at the back of the sweatshirt to see if there was any holes?
Oh, I unmuted it. I don't know why my mic muted. My mic muted on its own. Gosh darn it. I did. I hit the unmute button. Ah. All right. I'm not. So, fuck. Yeah. You guys saw it. So we went through the stupid arm thing. We went through the weight of the arm. He showed him these showed him these pieces of glass and said, "Oh, look, your pieces of glass. You got this. This looks like they're really
Don't know
big
if I recall
pieces of
that
glass."
specific photograph.
Right. So he's saying, "Oh, that's
Lacerations?
No, sir.
I believe it was called apparent plastic. And I don't know that it
right."
was ever
So
proven
then
that it
he
matches
goes.
the taillight. So once again, Hank Brennan.
He's trying to say that that's gonna do the hoodie. Then he goes and he gets the hoodie. He actually gets the hoodie. He does not show this to the defense at all. He does nothing. He does not show this to the defense. They've never talked about the back of the hoodie, right? He's trying to say that
Oh.
there's road. He's about to do one of the craziest things that you could do in a trial, and nothing's going to happen to him.
Here come the
That's
museum
most
glass
messed up
encased
thing.
clothing.
Let's look.
I don't recall.
Back of the sweatshirt, other than the right arm, and you formed your opinion?
I don't recall.
Other holes on the back?
Has anybody ever shown us the back of the sweatshirt?
Other holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's
Take it out of the plastic casing.
It appears I see one hole.
Randy was not knocked out of his shoes. You need to take it out of the plastic.
Watch. He's going to count. He's going to count holes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That sweatshirt is all wrinkled up. It's in between two panes of glass or plastic or acrylic or plexiglass. How about take it out? Take it out. Let's examine it.
He just basically tried to say that the holes in the back of the sweatshirt were caused by something else. All right. So you can see this right here. I direct you to here, showing that there were supposedly multiple holes in the back of the sweatshirt. I give up. I give up. I'm sorry. This is a mess. Yes, I didn't share the right thing. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me tonight. I'm sorry. Yes, they're supposed to be talking. Okay, so basically he pulls out this hoodie. If I can show you guys again, because I'm stupid. Watch this.
Let me get a little closer so you can get a better look.
No, it's me. It's not you. It's me.
Here. You see more than one hole in the back of the sweatshirt?
Yes.
I'd have been paying attention, I would have caught that. But I'm just out of it. It's Monday. I blame it on Monday.
I'll direct you to here.
So he's basically pointing out that, yeah, if you're not live, it shouldn't be muted now. It should be fine now.
Yes.
Hopefully. Is it muted? What? No. I'm hearing it fine. Can you not hear it? No. All right, what about now?
Here. Let me get a little sweatshirt.
It appears I see one hole.
Let me get a little closer so you can get a better look. I'll direct you to
Oh, that's cool. Can you hear it? All right, now it's good.
You see more than one hole in the back of the sweatshirt?
Yes.
Well, so here we go. The sweatshirt.
It appears I see one hole.
Let me get a little closer so you can get a better look. I'll direct you to here. You see
I direct you to here. All these holes.
Yes.
So this guy is just, it's ridiculous. So, okay, so AJ redirect.
as you sit here.
Not without a scale of some sort, no.
So he says,
Make note of these little red pieces, correct?
these little pieces that they showed you.
As you sit here.
Not without a scale of some sort, no.
So as you sit here, do you have any idea what the size of those pieces are?
I couldn't tell you as I sit here today, no.
No idea if they're a foot long? Gotcha.
So the objection is sustained.
Sure. If you what if
So
I realize
we
you have
bring up the other one.
You see that 10?
Yes.
Are you aware that all those pieces are inside that 10? Gotcha.
Sustained. And jurors disregard that.
Did you ever see this 10 in your analysis?
How can Brennan bring up the fact that those pieces cut the shirt, but yet he can't bring up the size of them?
I do recall seeing, yes, in the evidence photographs of all the fragments, yes.
How is that?
Are very large pieces or very small pieces put in little tins about 2 inches wide?
Sustained.
You were asked a question.
So, okay.
Seems like same thing, but
This is like it's just I can't even.
On we redirect,
Baby raccoon
you
sounds
again
pretty
talk
cool.
about the impact between an arm and the broken tail light.
Correct, yes.
And I asked you on cross-examination or recross-examination whether that broken tail light could push the arm, which of course would create force or friction, yes?
Well, once it's moving at a common velocity, I'm just not understanding your question then.
If it's not a common velocity, if the broken tail light
Ask the question.
if the broken tail light is pushing the arm, which would mean the broken tail light is going at a faster speed than the arm. If it pushes the arm, the broken tail light can come in contact with the arm.
I don't know how this is even.
It's moving with the arm, sir.
If
fault it is.
I mean, that's all. He's got nothing. He's got nothing. So he's just got to pound on the stupidity. All right. Hank Brennan is the scuzziest lawyer I have ever seen. Bev Cannoni is the most biased, idiotic, moronic judge I have ever seen in my life. Okay. Hank Brennan made a big, huge thing about the holes in the sweatshirt. I'm going to just put this on.
What do you want to tell me, Mr. Leslie?
So he gets his gloves on. I got to go grab a water.
Moves for a mistrial with prejudice based upon intentional misconduct that just occurred before the court and for the jury. And what I'd like to do, Your Honor, this regards the hoodie, and this regards questioning and representations and questioning by Mr. Brennan. And what I'd like to and need to do, Your Honor, is to have 2 documents marked as exhibits, and then I am going to use Exhibit 88, which is an evidence, which is the hoodie, which is why I'm putting on the evidence gloves, and it will become quite obvious very shortly what the issues are.
All right, so what are the things that you want to have marked?
What I would like to have marked.
Another motion for mistrial.
What I would like to have marked, the first document, in one of the specific title. These 2 documents are from the criminalist file, specifically Ms. Maureen Hartnett's notes regarding cuttings from the hoodie sweatshirt that's in the crime lab file folder.
Oh, what happened here?
Is the back of the hoodie. So with Your Honor's permission, I would have that marked for identification.
Exhibit YYY. Friday. And may I see that, please?
Earlier, I bragged about how good I was when I crinkled my bottle up, and then I just completely shot the entire thing tonight. So please forgive me for all my stupidity earlier. I think we're back on track, though. All right.
Okay.
That is the back of the hoodie, Your Honor. And if I could please have the next mark in order exhibit for identification.
Exhibit ZZZ for identification.
Okay, so asking for a mistrial. We're getting this stuff.
Mr. Leslie just touching absolutely everything with those gloves.
So is it that there were no holes in the back? There were no holes in the back of the sweatshirt?
That's only part of it, but that is in fact identification back from my argument. Your Honor, what we just saw is Attorney Brennan question Dr. Wolf with regard to the hoodie sweatshirt that heretofore has been in the plastic casing for trial. And this is the, what happened was Attorney Brennan held up the casing with a hoodie sweatshirt, went to the back of the hoodie sweatshirt. First point to note, Mr. Brennan did not show Mr. Jackson the back of the hoodie sweatshirt, didn't give Mr. Jackson an opportunity to look at it.
Can I just ask a question? I noticed that it was over here at the witness stand this morning, so I assumed everyone was aware that something was going to happen with it. Is that not the case, Mr. Jackson?
That is not the case, Your Honor.
Okay.
I realized that one question was going to be asked was Mr. Brennan casing.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Leslie.
So there was nothing about no showing the defense, nothing. I'm gonna show this evidence to the person on the stand. No, not showing anything to the defense whatsoever.
Thank you, Your Honor. So to do it in order, Mr. Brennan takes the hoodie sweatshirt in the casing without notice, shows it to Dr. Wolf, and shows the back of the hoodie, which has certain holes, and I'm going to limit calling them holes to do this chronologically. I'm going to refer to exactly what they are in moments.
Okay, so I need to see it. I know you've got gloves on. Where is it right now? It would help me if you held it up for me now.
Absolutely,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Leslie.
So here is the back of the hoodie.
Okay. All right, thank you.
It's very obvious that these are cutting holes cut by the criminalist. And I'm going to get to that, back to this in a moment. But I would like to do it and certainly entertain any of Your Honor's questions, but in a logical order.
Sure, so I'm not, what about the jurors and lunch? How long do you think this will be?
I think this will take about 10 to 15 minutes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, the jurors and their lunch. How long is this going to take? When she starts going off in front of the jury about how long this is taking in the sidebars, this was caused by Brennan. She makes it sound like it's the defense's fault. This is not the defense's fault.
So, and I'll do it quickly. So Attorney Jackson goes up. We have no idea that this was going to happen. Goes up, confronts the witness, Dr. Wolf, shows the back of the hoodie sweatshirt. To my knowledge, the first time the back has been referenced of the hoodie sweatshirt. Shows Dr. Wolf, confronts him, and basically says, couldn't these holes be caused, and I'm paraphrasing, from a fall backwards? Obviously positing in the juror's mind after, remember, we just saw all kinds of videos with regard to Rescue Randy and impact at 24, 29 miles an hour, more aptly 29 miles per hour, and damage to the hoodie, etc. So what then happens is Dr. Wolf is asked a series of questions, very much with the indication that somehow, in the clear implication, that these holes are being caused by road rash, and that the holes in the back of the hoodie sweatshirt, Exhibit 88, could have been or likely were caused with regard to some type of impact. Clearly presented to the jurors with that in mind in that questioning. Here is the basis for the mistrial with prejudice. Those holes in the back of the hoodie sweatshirt are clearly, unequivocally, without doubt, caused nothing to do with any type of event.
There is a professional supposed to be some kind of judicial ethics committee that is supposed to keep up with and I looked it up earlier, Massachusetts Judicial Conduct Organization. So I'm gonna share this tab. Remind me to share it back. But the Massachusetts Commission on Judicial Conduct is a state agency responsible for investigating complaints alleging a state court judge is engaged in judicial misconduct. Well, holy crap! How the hell does she get away with all the stuff that she does?
January 29, 2022.
So do you have something you said when you said obviously cut by the criminalist? Do you have something that shows that chart that I couldn't understand quickly? Is it on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
That chart that I couldn't understand. Why? Because you're a idiot.
We have is two documents.
You couldn't understand.
Right. So the second one, when was that?
These is and I notice of discovery May 2023. Back of the hoodie, I believe, is the only one, to my knowledge, not put into evidence, not turned into evidence. This is the one with the cuts.
Right, so is ZZZ in evidence?
ZZZ is not in evidence, and that is part of the basis for the mistrial. Because if they were in evidence, they would clearly have prevented the stunt that we just saw occur with regard to Dr. Wolf. So that is part of the intentional misconduct, Your Honor, is these are documents from the criminalist's file. That it's the Commonwealth's document.
All right, so
Rebuttal on.
Okay, thank you.
Exhibit BBB.
If I could have one set.
ZZZ.
Quickly chronologically, so we have a hoodie sweatshirt that was brought into the criminalist, Ms. Hartnett, with the back of the hoodie with no holes on it. Makes cuts to the front of the hoodie. Custody document that describes the chain of custody for the hoodie and the cuts in the chronology.
What does Brendan say? All right.
Watch him come out on the attack, guys.
Here comes Brendan.
Absolutely no evidence of anything. Watch him come out on the attack, guys.
Your Honor, my brief review of the lab paperwork and looking at the hoodie, it appears that I made a mistake. And so I think what should happen is there should be curative instruction. There should be a stipulation. The court should instruct the jury that during Mr. Brennan's cross-examination, he asked Dr. Wolf about holes on the sweatshirt or holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. The parties agree the holes were made by a crime lab technician. This was done inadvertently but should not have been asked. The court should strike the questions and the answers. And you should instruct the jury there to completely disregard any questions or answers about the holes in the back of the sweatshirt. And the court should allow the defense to introduce the lab paperwork.
Okay. Multiple things right there that he said should happen, right? He took responsibility. He said he made a mistake. He said that they should say that during the questions that they were, the questions should be stricken. They shouldn't have let's just go back and listen to it again, because this is
Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. Of instruction. There should be a stipulation.
This should have been the curative instruction.
The court should instruct the jury that during Mr. Brennan's cross-examination, he he asked Dr. Wolf about holes on the sweatshirt or holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. The parties agree the holes were made by a crime lab technician. This was done inadvertently but should not have been asked. The court should strike the questions and the answers. And you should instruct the jury there to completely disregard any questions or answers about the holes in the back of the sweatshirt. And the court should allow the defense to introduce the lab paperwork.
Okay. So we are going to go over here to, we're going to go to Emily for her ruling, because I don't even know where to start. So you heard all that stuff, right? You heard all the stuff that he said that she should have said.
Instruct the jury when they come back in that they heard a line of questioning about, well, if the crime lab testified, they would be stronger than that.
Well, this is what
I'm going to put in.
The jurors need to be instructed.
Going to allow the mistrial motion, Mr. Leslie. What I'm going to do is.
And then listen how she describes what she's going to the curative instruction for the jury. Listen how she describes it.
Instruct the jurors. I'm going to put in what's been marked for identification, Y, Z, A, and B. 4 of each letters. I'm going to put all these into evidence.
Well, 3 of Y and Z and 4 of A and B.
And I'm going to instruct the jury that during the cross-examination of Dr. Wolf, Mr. Brennan asked him about holes in the back of the sweatshirt and whether or not they perhaps could have come from events or implying or something like this.
Implying. Go with
I
implying.
instruct you, you are not permitted to draw any inference that these could have come from the events of January 29th,
Because
2022.
Because they were made by the crime
I
lab.
instruct you further that those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt on, I just put the dates aside. Chrissy, can I see those, please?
Yeah. Alessi argued.
So she said all of these things. She said she was going to tell the jury all of these things. I want you to listen to what she actually told the jury. This woman is just. This woman is she is fucking stupid. She is just ridiculously dumb. She is biased. She is corrupt. She is not going to, this is not a fair trial whatsoever. She should be brought up on charges. She should be investigated by the federal government because obviously Massachusetts isn't going to do it. This is a complete miscarriage of justice. This is now we're getting to territory. He literally misled the jury. So what's the instruction?
Hold the exhibit up for the jurors, please.
Will you listen to this? What she said, Mr. Brennan asked these questions. You're not allowed to do it. This is the instruction. Listen.
Mr. Alessi
Shown in the back of the thing
for the jury with his evidence
Right,
gloves
jurors,
on.
that's the back of the sweatshirt that was shown to Dr. Wolf.
And the jury's got to be like, what the fuck is happening?
He's showing it to the jury. All right.
Thank you. Why don't you go ahead and put it back in the bag? So, jurors, I instruct you that those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt back on May 18th, 2023. Okay? So, I know your lunches are here, but I think Mr. Yannetti, your next witness.
That's it. That's all she says. She didn't say anything about Mr. Brennan asked Dr. Wolf about the holes, and you're not to infer anything. Nope. She just said, the holes, they were made by the thing. Just ignore it. It's, she didn't say anything about striking all that. She She just downplayed it. She just completely downplayed a jury getting completely misrepresentation, a complete misrepresentation of everything to the jury. And she didn't even skip a breath about fucking
back on the
lunch.
course of her inspection and sampling of
She
the
didn't even
sweatshirt
skip
back
a
on
breath.
May 18th, 2023. Okay. So I know your lunches are here, but I think Mr. Yannetti, your next witness,
This is
please.
insane.
Admit the other items of evidence. Admit the other items of evidence. And I am admitting the other items of
I don't
evidence.
understand.
But no, we're not admitting those now.
I think she did admit the items, but I think she did admit them, but she didn't tell the jury she admitted them. So the jury doesn't even know that there's these other, of all the items of evidence, because they got over 100. Now there's this just random items of the sweatshirt that she just gets, I guess. This is insane.
So that's
all right. So then there's a private investigator that does
2013.
And what did you do after graduation from Suffolk Law School?
She's
I've had
horrible.
a
She is
small
just
solo law
horrible.
practice.
She is not this is not a fair trial. This is not anything. This is
measurements could
crazy.
come in, but the photos could.
All right. So then we've got Dr. LaPierre. This is an award-winning forensic pathologist.
And autopsy findings, police and witness statements, and medical history. And using that information, we come up.
In fact, let's go back over here because I don't want to cut it off. Okay, so we get a voir dire of her about her experience. Oh. Oh God. Get out here.
Them to die.
Okay, so she's talking about the differential diagnosis.
A differential diagnosis or a list of things that might have happened to that person to cause them to die. And from that list, then we see where all the science and all the data, the autopsy, and then trying to understand how the injuries that the pedestrian sustained, what those mechanisms were, and how the injuries show that that person interacted with the motor vehicle.
In doing so, in coming up with injury mechanism analysis, is it important to look at and analyze the actual vehicle that is allegedly involved?
Yes, you want to look at photographs of that or see it in person.
Is that part of the normal methodology that is employed in the field?
Yes, you must look at the photographs. You must see what the vehicle looks like.
Do you
case of what happened to Mr. O'Keefe.
Okay. As far as your experience, though, do you ever make any note in your report about your specific experience and training about wound pattern recognition for dog bites in your report?
No, it's not appropriate.
In your CV, is there any way you can point to us where you had specific training for wound pattern recognition relative to dog bites, where we can see that on your CV?
No, it doesn't say dog bite training specifically, no.
Do you have anything on your CV that specifically talks about wound pattern recognition for animals?
Because it gives us an idea of what might have caused that injury. And then
she said that she's been through at least 50 autopsies of dog bites.
Pedestrian incidents in the field of.
Yes, I have.
How many
times would you say you've qualified?
Hundreds.
I'm going to talk for a specific for a second about a specific area of interest for the court. Were you provided information and photographs of John O'Keefe's arm and his arm injuries included with the rest of the autopsy information that you received?
Yes.
Were you asked to make a determination about the nature of the wounds specific to his right arm? And I know that there's other injuries to Mr. O'Keefe, but I'd like to relegate your attention to the right arm.
Yes, absolutely. That's what the forensic pathologist does.
Without telling me what your opinion was, were you able to come to an opinion or conclusion about the source of those injuries?
Yes, I was.
What methodology did you employ to come to that opinion or conclusion, or those opinions and conclusions?
My experience and knowledge and training, along with the appearance of the wounds on the right arm, which fit a pattern, and then knowing that it fits a pattern, then I can try to look for, okay, what is the item that caused this pattern? And that would be part of the differential diagnosis that I've used for many, many years in making diagnoses and determinations.
Have you ever been trained in pattern recognition?
Yes.
In what capacity?
Oh, as a forensic pathologist and medical examiner, a large amount of our work has to do with recognizing pattern injuries, because that's so important, because it gives us an idea of what might have caused that injury. And then that's clearly of a lot of importance to the police and the investigators as they're trying then to say, well, what could have caused that injury? And so the forensic pathologist could say, well, I think it was X or Y. Then they can carry out their investigation armed with that information as to what might have caused the injury on the body.
Is there such a thing in the world of pathologists as medical literature or academic literature that deals with pattern recognition?
Yes.
Are you familiar with some or most of those publications?
Absolutely.
Have you ever yourself taught classes on pattern recognition?
Yes.
At what level? High school?
At the medical school level.
How often have you taught courses on pattern recognition?
Oh, at least a handful.
When was the last time you taught a course in pattern recognition?
Let's see, last month.
Do any of the courses that you've either taken, well, let's take them one at a time. Have any of the courses that you've ever taken dealt with wound pattern recognition as it relates to animal wounds?
Courses that I've taken?
That you have taken.
It's part of our basic training and understanding of a forensic pathologist. The board exams we take test for that. Those injuries are described in our basic forensic pathology and medicine textbooks. They appear continually in our medical and scientific journals.
Is that an important skill set to develop, wound pattern recognition as it pertains to animals as a forensic pathologist?
Absolutely.
Do any of those academic courses that you've either taken or reference works that you just referred to, do any of those deal with dog bites and claw marks specifically?
Oh, yes, they do.
In the course or courses that you have taught related to wound pattern recognition, have you ever taught on the subject of dog bite wounds?
She's taught courses about this.
Recognition of dog bite wounds.
Yes, I have.
When was the last time you?
She's taught courses in medical school about this.
Let's see, it would be in the course in the medical school. Would have been several years ago.
Doctor, with regard to staying with dog bite wounds specifically, have you ever performed an autopsy that specifically dealt with dog bite wounds, known dog bite wounds?
Yes.
So you've seen them in person?
Yes, I have.
How many?
Have you ever been qualified in any court in the land, state or federal court, on the issue of wound pattern recognition as it pertains to dog bites?
Yes.
When was that?
The last one I can recall was a federal case involving questions of a police dog.
She has been qualified in federal court as an expert on dog bites. Going to repeat that. She has been qualified as an expert in federal court on dog bites.
Did you engage, in that case, did you engage in a differential diagnosis to determine, in your opinion and conclusion, your expert opinion and conclusion, the source of the wounds that you saw?
Yes.
But of course, Brennan says, do you have anything? Is there anything on your CV that says?
Taken by Canton Police of the outside scene.
So Brennan says she's not qualified. Let's see what Bev says. Let's see what this. She's been qualified multiple times as an expert.
That's a really bad call.
Was helpful. All right. So first of all, on the Darbert analysis regarding Dr. Lapasada being able to testify as to the dog bite wounds, I find that she is not qualified. I'm not satisfied that the Darbert requirements have been made.
A person who has taught medical school classes about recognition on dog bites has been qualified in a federal court to testify about dog bites is not qualified in Bev's court. Massachusetts is the second worst place in just Oh my God. Oh my God.
Specifically, not just the experience, but the reliability of the methodology she used and how it was applied. So, based on that, she cannot testify to the dog wounds. And I want to take a minute to differentiate this testimony with Dr. Russell in the ER, coupled with was qualified to testify as to dog bite wounds, mainly from her experience in the ER, coupled with her being an ME. Dr. Lapisada.
Dr. Lapisada wasn't an ER doctor, so
Does
what
not have
the
that
fuck,
experience. I found that
man?
Dr. Russell's methodology was reasonable and was sufficient, and I found that it was appropriately applied. Remember that Dr. Russell
This
was
woman
published
is
in the area
stupid.
here. So
This
regarding
woman is
pages 10
stupid.
and 11, all of the text on Dr. Lapisada's report on pages 10 and 11 that start with the injuries on Mr. O'Keefe's right arm are excluded. Now, moving on to the testimony regarding not being consistent with
of those states.
Yes.
This is just. I don't. There's no fucking way, man. There's no way.
Other entities in terms of the fatalities that you did review as a medical examiner, the chief medical examiner of Rhode Island.
Well, I dealt with families from
So
around.
now we're gonna get into. Let's get into this.
And a lot of, I suspect that a lot of this is there in the where we have defense of her resume with respect to those specific things, right?
Certifications in the field of forensic pathology.
Well, I'm board of Nation, diplomat of the American Board of Pathology in whichever subspecialty you're in, and I became a diplomat in the subspecialty of anatomic and forensic.
in, or just the photograph that's got color to it?
I actually like all of it. She will explain what that.
Right, so let's see
Bruise on
which.
his brain, at the back of the brain and at the front of the brain.
Problem with her qualifications.
I
More
mean,
specific.
it just.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Thank you. Correct.
Consistent
with a fist.
Oh, a minute, okay? Both of you.
Thing you can do completely, totally.
We're still on track. We will start. I'm going to have you show up a half hour later than we normally do because I expect to have 10 minutes with the lawyers, but we see sometimes with 10 minutes naturally in the course of any case in terms. So I don't want you to be waiting as much as you waited today. So if you take a half an hour more to get in here.
I don't want you to wait as much as you waited today because of the defense. I mean, that's basically what she's saying. It's because of the defense.
Whatever time
I mean,
the court officers will tell you. We'll see you
this woman is so freaking corrupt.
It's filled with as much time here in court for you without sidebar conferences, without delays for us to have hearings. So tomorrow, plan on a full day.
She is putting her thumb on the scale,
Do not
basically.
discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to
And I
see
think
it here,
Andrea
about
at the
case,
end
please
here.
disregard it, let us know. Be careful again with your social media news. We'll see you tomorrow. So Dr. Lapisada, yes, it's step one.
She's basically going to limit what Dr. Rensler can testify to tomorrow morning. That's basically what she's going to do. We already know. So Andrea, at the end of the day here.
You don't remember that you said you read it, which is bad enough because you didn't read
Oh
it
yeah,
either.
so
You just.
So they're talking about the Dr. Rensler's motion. She said at one point, "Yeah, I read that," and then a little bit later, she said, "I didn't read it yet." I mean,
You just said you read it. You just said you read it. Do you not even remember whether you read it or not? I understand you don't remember that you said you read it, which is bad enough because you just said that like within the last 10 minutes. But do you even remember if you read it or not? Because if you said you did, but now you didn't, good Lord.
Andrea is all of us at this point.
What did we get after lunch? Same thing as she was already thinking this morning, meaning that voir dire, waste of time, didn't move the needle. 5 autopsies, 50s, don't matter. She's not qualified.
Yeah.
Not just based on her experience, but the reliability of her methodology is in question. Her methodology.
Oh yeah. No,
is pattern
exactly.
recognition and differential diagnosis. Exactly the same methodologies that were identified as Dr. Russell. But Dr. Russell is an expert mainly because of her ER experience. Oh, really? Oh, really? If we go back.
So Bev can't have two people come in and say that there were dog bites. She can't allow that because that's bad to the Commonwealth, to the prosecution. So she's going to limit that. This is a joke of a trial.
Back
This is
and
an
we look at your
absolute
order
joke.
on Dobert Lanigan, pertaining to Dr. Russell, is that going to say it's mainly because of her ER experience that she's qualified? So if I'm understanding this correctly as well, no pathologist is going to be able to testify about whether an injury was a dog bite or not. We need to bring in an ER physician.
This is one of the top MEs in the entire country.
To testify to that in this courtroom. That seems to be the logic, such as it is.
This is absolutely
that seems to be
insane.
the logic, because if this forensic pathologist isn't qualified, very hard to imagine one that is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there was one thing I did miss. I want to go back to something here. During Wolf's testimony, I want to go back and I want to go to Andrea, or I want to go to here. So during AJ's cross, Brennan made this whole big deal about, oh yeah, I want to see. Yes, please, please, please. So Brennan made this whole big deal about the weight of the arm and using the hybrid dummy, not the 95 percentile one.
Than 24 miles.
Let's see.
Yes. Yes.
Calculated the increase on the time.
You can't make this up. How you like me?
So
made note of the size of those.
Sit here today.
Do this.
For this.
Correct.
Objections. I realize he said he doesn't.
Your Honor, testimony about how this is so insane. They're like,
do you see that 10?
Yes.
10.
All right, so this is the 10.
You say in
All
terms
right.
of the testing to get about
10 million.
That in the
No.
that testing direct impact.
Was that caused any?
What happened?
All right.
in the courtroom.
Then talked about.
All right. Damn it, where'd it go? Maybe it's back here. Maybe I missed it.
Very dramatically. And
right, here we go.
Give me one name, very dramatically, of someone.
The objection sustained.
You were asked, give me one name to support using a 50 percentile hybrid 3 in testing forces on a 216-pound man. Do you remember that question?
Yes.
How about the name Judson Welcher?
Yes.
How about that name?
Yes. So the objection sustained.
Why?
Did Judson Welcher use a 50 percentile hybrid in his drop test?
So that's sustained as to form.
What did Judson
Of course
Welcher
it's sustained.
use in
Of
his
course
drop
it
test?
A hybrid 350th percentile male, the same that we use in our testing.
Oh.
So they used the same dummy in their testing. Brennan made a big point of this all during his trial about using the wrong one, using the wrong one, using the wrong one. And it turns out that their expert used the same one. Oh, So if Welcher gets to come back to testify again, which of course she's going to let him, that's going to be prime question time.
Interesting, isn't it?
So Welcher used the same thing. Oh my good Lord. This case is just, it's so insane. Oh my God. I know. Just these people are ridiculous. Oh no. So poor little baby. All right. Let's see this. Oh. All right. That's so cute. Look at that. Tiny little thing. So what's the plan? What are you going to do with a baby raccoon? Are you going to have a pet raccoon? Is that what's coming? Or is there an animal rescue or like a somewhere you can take them? So anyway, we've got a couple more days left. That's it. We could see the end of testimony tomorrow. I doubt it. I think the end of testimony is going to be on Wednesday. I think you'll see closing arguments maybe on like if they can get through the sorry, I'm messing with my thing here. If they can get through the testimony tomorrow, and then, okay, yep, 10-4. If they can get through with testimony by Wednesday, then we'll have closing argument. I can see them going all day tomorrow. And then I can see them going a half day on Wednesday and wrapping up testimony. And then I could see them doing closing arguments and getting it to the jury on Wednesday afternoon. That's, I think, what Bev wants to do. That's what Bev is saying that she wants to do. So, yeah. All right. Little check-in with the Los Angeles things. And it looks like we've got some people getting loaded on a bus. Looks like they have made some arrests. People are in custody. And they are loading them up. So there we go. That's the update there. I am going to, I think that's it for me for tonight. Not going to do another 3-hour stream. Who knows what tomorrow is going to bring. I think we'll see Dr. Rentschler. We'll see Dr. Lapisato finish off her testimony. I mean, her testimony today was like, yeah, he had a head injury. No, it probably didn't come from a, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know that, I mean, they weren't allowed to get into what they wanted to get in with her. So it's just kind of repetitive. So I don't know. Anyway. All right, folks, that is it for me for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Stuff is on. I will, when this trial is over, I can get back to editing my show, which is going to be released on July 4th. As you see a little scroll thing there. So please keep that in mind. Today, I'm going to give you Agent Gray as our outro. So the introduction to Agent William Gray of the Bureau Undermining Misinformation. The show is called Mistakes Were Made. It's a funny take on the government and how stupid they are. So on that note, all right, good night. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing, let me know about the little baby ball raccoon there. Send me some more pictures too if you got them. That would be awesome. So, all right, good night, folks. Goodbye. Have a good.
Introducing Agent William Gray from the Bureau Undermining Misinformation. When it comes to misinformation, Agent Gray knows what's at stake.
We're the tip of the spear when it comes to protecting American democracy. We're the front line of defense against those who would see our country crumble.
Agent Gray appreciates the opportunity he has to make a difference in the fight against dangerous misinformation.
I was a high school teacher for 15 years. Every year I just got more and more miserable. My buddy told me about this new federal agency that was just starting up. I thought that maybe I was the kind of person that this agency could use. And what I would tell you is that I have been seeing what my students post online since before Facebook was cringe. Slurs that they use in Call of Duty chat rooms.
Agent William Gray, a dedicated warrior against misinformation.
Our mission is to protect our country's important institutions, but we can't do it alone. We need help from people